Hi, Dan. How are you today?
Oh, thank you.
Take a seat. Thank you for agreeing to sit down with me today. Before we jump into talking about communication, I was just wondering if you could tell me what it is you do, your role, and how long you've been in it.
I've been in my role for nearly 9 years. My role is actually trade specialist at a Bunnings store. And what I do is actually liaise with the trade customers of various trade levels, so builders, electricians, plumbers.
Okay, so talking to all these people, why is communication important in your role?
Very important because we need to work out what they need for their project, some pricing, if we don't have ESP.
Very true. So when you're talking to these people, is there like a range of communication that you use, or is it just one like face-to-face
No,
interaction?
face-to-face, over the phone, via email. Sometimes via third person as well. So someone who works in the office, it's just placing an order for the people that are on site.
For sure. So do you find that your communication strategies are different when you're talking, say, via email versus over the phone or in person?
Yeah, very, very different. Email, very much a lot of detail. Face-to-face can be quite casual.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're talking to customers, is there a different type of communication you use when you're talking to a valued long-term customer versus maybe a new customer that's never been in before?
Yeah, long-term customer, very, very casual. He's just like one of the crew. We've seen probably 2 or 3 times a day.
Sure.
Hey, how you going? What are you doing? What are you up to? How's family? We know all their details, things like that. So.
Yeah, okay. So what about your colleagues? You just talked about talking to them like your crew. Is that a different type of communication?
Well, we do spend a lot of time at work. Our
Yeah.
colleagues quite often become part of our family. It's just an extended family that we spend, 9 hours a day with.
Sure. Okay, so what about your bosses? Like, obviously there are people above you and people under you. Is that different kind of communication?
It can be. Bunnings has a very casual strategy. The boss can work on the floor alongside you. Even the general manager could walk in and you wouldn't know who he was and be working on the store for time. But if you are in a formal meeting, then yes, it's a different approach to communication.
Do you ever find that communication, like with people that are at different levels of you, do you ever find that personally hard?
Sometimes yes, because you may not be quite on the same wavelength as they are. They're very report focused, and you're very day-to-day role focused.
Okay, sure. So what about talking to people that, say, do your deliveries or the people that stock your shelves and like different companies that you work with? Is there ever any kind of situation where the communication maybe isn't at the same level?
Definitely with the deliveries, we probably have a lot of people that don't speak very good English,
Yeah.
so sometimes that can be a challenge, but we certainly give them reference numbers and things like that. So we just have to prompt them through.
So you have strategies to help you
lots
get
of
to that
strategies
point.
to get to that point.
Okay, sure. What about when you're talking to, say, a family member versus a customer or a colleague? Is that a different type of communication for you?
Family is very, very casual. Yeah. It's, they know you, they know what you're going to say. They can probably preempt half of your conversation.
Sure. Have you ever had an example in your team where you've got a task and the task probably wasn't able to get done because your communication didn't get fixed?
Certainly if we've had parts of order that we're waiting to come in and we may not have communicated that very well, and the people that are picking the rest of the order, they're running around going, where is this? We thought it was here. We've probably taken that phone call 5 minutes, into the day and done 10 other things and then forgotten to let those people know that, actually might be in time.
So there's like a chain that you haven't followed. Okay, so what about when I go into a Bunnings store? Do you have any specific strategies that Bunnings use to build that rapport with customers?
Actually, first of all, we have a people greeter, and then very big on the acknowledgement throughout Bunnings stores. So virtually everyone you see should be saying hello, how's it going, some kind of acknowledgement.
Okay, so there's that initial contact to get in the conversation. Okay, so before when we talked about that line of communication where you didn't get the task done, what kind of strategies did you use to fix that situation, like for the next time?
Oh, definitely. It's phoning the people that may know. So, even if we've left work, it's to pick up the team members picking up the phone going, hey, did you know about this? And you go, yes, I did. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, so just making sure you follow that line back.
Follow up, yeah.
Sure. Okay, what about something where communication has gone really well and it was like a straight through the line? Do you have a situation that you could tell us about?
Oh, we certainly have that. Deliveries do go out, things just go really well. We just ask the questions and we get the feedback. The service is great, or something like that. So we certainly get that very good feedback from our customers as well.
Sure. So when you're asking questions, you're saying we're asking questions. What kind of questions would you typically ask to get that information?
Very, very open questions. So we're not looking for a yes or no answer. We're looking for something that gives us a little bit more detail.
Okay, sure. Well, thanks so much for sharing your insights on communication. Hopefully I'm able to take some of the things we spoke about and work them into my roles in nursing. So thank you so much again, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thanks.